Please subscribe our channel before the story starts, because we bring new videos like this every week. The highway stretched out like a ribbon of asphalt beneath the full moon. Jake Mitchell gripped the steering wheel of his old rig, the engine humming a low, comforting growl. He had been driving for hours, the rhythmic hum of the wheels on the pavement lulling him into a trance. As he approached a desolate stretch of road, the air seemed to thicken, the temperature dropped, and Jake's breath fogged up the windshield. He reached for the radio, hoping a familiar voice would break the eerie silence, but all he got was static. His eyes scanned the dark expanse ahead, searching for any signs of life. That's when he saw a figure standing on the side of the road, shrouded in darkness. Jake squinted, trying to make out the features, but the figure vanished. Unease settled in his stomach as he pressed on the gas, the truck's headlights cutting through the night. The radio crackled to life, a distorted voice uttering a single word: "Beware." Jake's heart raced, his eyes darting around the cabin. The voice on the radio had sent a chill down his spine, and he couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. He glanced at the rearview mirror, half expecting to see the mysterious figure from earlier. As he continued down the highway, the fog thickened, reducing visibility to a few feet. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the mist, a hitchhiker, with a wide-brimmed hat obscuring their face. Jake hesitated but eventually pulled over. The hitchhiker climbed into the cab, and an unsettling silence settled between them. Jake tried to strike up a conversation, but the hitchhiker remained silent. The air inside the truck grew colder, and Jake could feel a sense of foreboding. As they approached a rest area, Jake decided to confront the silence. "What's your story, friend?" he asked. The hitchhiker slowly turned their head, revealing empty, hollow eyes. Before Jake could react, the hitchhiker's hand shot out, gripping the steering wheel. The truck swerved off the road, plunging into darkness. When Jake regained consciousness, the truck was parked in front of an old, dilapidated town. The hitchhiker was gone, leaving only an ominous silence in its wake. The town, with its decaying buildings and broken windows, seemed frozen in time. As Jake explored the eerie streets, he noticed shadows moving in the corners of his vision. Whispers echoed through the air, unintelligible and haunting. The deserted town held a malevolent energy, as if the very essence of fear clung to the abandoned structures. In the town square, Jake discovered an old, tattered journal. It spoke of a curse that had befallen the town decades ago, trapping the souls of its residents in a perpetual nightmare. The only escape, the journal claimed, was to find the source of the curse and break it. Determined to free himself from this nightmare, Jake ventured deeper into the heart of the town, where a looming, desolate mansion stood. The mansion's grand entrance creaked open, revealing a darkened interior. Jake hesitated, but pressed on, guided by an otherworldly force. As he explored the twisted corridors and haunted rooms, he uncovered the mansion's gruesome history. Long ago, a malevolent force had taken residence in the mansion, corrupting the townspeople and trapping their souls. The curse thrived on fear, feeding off the despair of those who dared to enter. The hitchhiker, a manifestation of the curse, sought to ensnare new victims to perpetuate its dark. Jake realized that breaking the curse required confronting the source of the malevolence. He descended into the mansion's hidden catacombs, where the air grew thicker with each step. Shadows danced on the walls, and whispers grew louder, haunting him. As he reached the heart of the catacombs, he discovered an ancient, ornate mirror. The reflection revealed a grotesque, malevolent entity, an embodiment of the curse itself. With courage as his only weapon, Jake prepared to face the darkness head-on. The confrontation with the malevolent entity was harrowing. Shadows twisted and writhed, and the air crackled with dark energy. The entity, fueled by the fear it had harvested for decades, fought back with nightmarish illusions and phantoms from Jake's past. With each step forward, Jake confronted his deepest fears, battling the manifestations of regret, loss, and despair. The ancient mirror held the key to breaking the curse, but the entity fought fiercely to protect its source of power. In a climactic struggle, Jake mustered every ounce of strength and shattered the mirror. A blinding light enveloped the catacombs, dispelling the darkness that had plagued the town for so long. As the light faded, Jake found himself back in his truck, parked on the deserted highway. The moon hung high in the sky, and the oppressive fog had lifted. The oppressive atmosphere that had clung to him dissipated, leaving only the hum of the engine and the distant sounds of the night. The hitchhiker, the abandoned town, and the malevolent entity were all gone. Jake took a deep breath, his hand still gripping the steering wheel. The radio crackled to life, playing a familiar tune. He drove into the night, leaving the horrors behind, but the memory of that fateful journey would forever linger in the recesses of his mind. Despite breaking the curse and escaping the malevolent entity, Jake couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. The road ahead seemed endless, twisting and turning like a serpent in the moonlight. The shadows, once banished, crept back into the corners of his vision. As Jake continued his journey, the truck's engine occasionally sputtered, and the radio emitted distorted whispers. The hitchhiker's face haunted his thoughts, and he couldn't shake the feeling that the malevolence had merely retreated, waiting for the opportune moment to strike again. In the distance, a flickering light beckoned him. A solitary gas station stood like a beacon in the night. Wary but determined, Jake pulled in, hoping to find answers and respite from the lingering shadows. The gas station was a relic of the past, its neon lights casting an eerie glow on the cracked pavement. The air smelled of gasoline and dampness, and a distant howl echoed through the night. Jake approached the cashier, an elderly man with a weathered face. The old man glanced up from his newspaper, his eyes piercing through Jake's soul. "You carry the weight of the road on your shoulders, son," he said, his voice gravelly. "The curse may be broken, but shadows linger." Perplexed, Jake questioned the old man, who revealed himself as the gas station oracle, a guardian of the roads and keeper of ancient secrets. He spoke of a cyclical nature to the curse, a recurring nightmare that ensnared those who dared to traverse the haunted highways. "The road demands balance," the oracle warned. "To break free, you must face not only the external evils, but the ones that reside within." The oracle's words echoed in Jake's mind as he left the gas station. The highway stretched out before him like an endless abyss. Haunting memories clawed at the edges of his consciousness, and he couldn't escape the feeling that the malevolence had burrowed into the recesses of his soul. As he drove through the night, the truck became a vessel of introspection. Flashbacks of past mistakes, lost loved ones, and unresolved guilt played like a haunting film. The road, once a familiar companion, now seemed like a relentless judge, forcing Jake to confront the skeletons in his closet. In a haze of self-reflection, he realized that breaking the curse wasn't just about defeating external entities, it required confronting his inner demons. The highway became a metaphysical battleground, and every mile was a step closer to redemption or damnation. Jake's journey took a surreal turn as the boundaries between reality and nightmare blurred. The highway transformed into a twisted labyrinth, and the truck became a vessel navigating the corridors of his subconscious. The hitchhiker reappeared, a spectral guide through the winding passages of guilt and remorse. In the depths of his inner abyss, Jake faced phantoms of his past, reliving moments of pain and regret. The malevolent entity, now a manifestation of his own darkness, taunted him with whispers of inadequacy and failure. With each confrontation, Jake unearthed buried emotions and confronted the choices that had led him to this point. The road demanded penance, and he struggled to find the strength to reconcile with his past. As Jake emerged from the inner abyss, the truck rumbled back onto the familiar highway. The dawn painted the sky in hues of orange and pink, and the air felt lighter. The malevolence had dissipated, and the road ahead seemed clearer. The gas station oracle's voice resonated in Jake's mind. Balance is the key to the road's mercy. To break free, one must confront both the external shadows and the ones within. With a newfound understanding, Jake continued his journey. The haunting memories and malevolent entities were now fragments of the past, and the road stretched out like a canvas of redemption. As he drove into the sunrise, the truck's engine hummed a soothing melody. The radio played a familiar tune, and the shadows that once clung to him were replaced by the warmth of a new beginning. The long-haul nightmare had ended, but the road, with its twists and turns, continued on an eternal cycle of redemption and reflection. Jake, now a traveler between worlds, embraced the uncertainty of the highway, knowing that the road held both the darkness of the past and the promise of a brighter future. Months passed since Jake Mitchell's harrowing journey through the haunted highway. The memories of the malevolent entity, the cursed town, and the gas station oracle lingered in the recesses of his mind, like the fading echoes of a distant nightmare. Jake found solace in the open road. The truck became a vessel of freedom, carrying him through landscapes that changed with each passing mile. The haunting shadows were replaced by the vast expanse of the horizon, and the weight on his shoulders lifted with each breath of the open air. He discovered a newfound appreciation for life, a sense of resilience forged through the crucible of the supernatural. The road, once a source of dread, now held a liberating power. It became a symbol of redemption and self-discovery, a winding path leading toward an uncertain but hopeful future. The scars of the past became markers of strength, and the echoes of the curse transformed into whispers of resilience. Jake Mitchell, the survivor of the haunted highway, continued his journey, not as a victim of the road, but as a testament to the transformative power of confronting one's fears. As the truck rolled into the sunset, the open road stretched out before him like an unwritten story. The radio played a melody of freedom, and the only shadows that danced were those cast by the fading sunlight. The curse was broken, and Jake Mitchell, traveler between worlds, embraced the uncertainty of the highway. The journey was no longer a nightmare, but a canvas waiting to be painted with the colors of life, redemption, and the endless possibilities that lay ahead. And so, with the hum of the engine and the wind in his hair, Jake drove into the horizon, leaving the haunted memories behind. The open road, with its twists and turns, became a metaphor for life's journey, a journey filled with challenges, but also with the promise of new beginnings.